Guys, you're in for a treat because what you see behind me could be the quickest production pickup truck of all time. This is the second generation Rivian R1T. And yep, I said second generation, even though it looks very similar to what the Rivian R1T has looked like. So I would call it a heavy refresh, but now it has way more power than before. What you see right here is their new quad motor with 1025 horsepower. And it has some crazy specs, including 2.5 seconds 0 to 60. And we're here at the drag strip to verify that. I'm gonna get in, I'm gonna see what it can do, and I'm gonna tell you everything about it, because even though from the outside it looks very similar to before, underneath it has a lot of changes, including suspension changes, brand new tires. It's got motors, brand new motors, oil-cooled motors, more power, more torque, new architecture as far as electrical architecture, new infotainment system, graphics, and much more. There we are, removing the heating blankets off the tires. These are brand new Michelin Pilot Sport S5s that Rivian collaborated with Michelin on, and they're staggered fitment, 275 wide in the front and 305 in the rear. And this is the new quad motor, which has a way more power than ever before. 1025. In the drive mode window, I click Sport first.
That's right.
Then I click the little new icon, right? That's new.
Yeah.
I swipe the gear guard guy. Is that his name?
Gear guard, yeah, gear guard Gary.
And then I put it in drive. And it kind of calculates my brake pressure, because if I let go of the brake, I don't see a green circle anymore.
That's right.
And the steering wheel has to be straight. If it's not straight, obviously we're not doing a proper launch.
It could end up in the wall.
And then this will go green when I apply the accelerator, and then I let go of the brake.
That's right.
It also calculates my 0 to 60 in quarter mile as well, right?
Yeah.
How does it do that?
If you do this with like an external device, it will use GPS. We use a combination of our onboard IMU and sensors, wheel speeds to check that wheel speeds aren't reliable on their own, because if you're spinning wheels, then it thinks you're going faster than you are. So we use a combination of sensors to measure or calculate what we call reference speed. And that's the most accurate way for us to calculate those times. I interrupt this first drive review to tell you about a very cool opportunity. One of the best nonprofits fighting climate change just launched its annual electric vehicle raffle, and I want to tell you about it. All proceeds go to the amazing Chesapeake Climate Action Network Action Fund, and here are the 3 reasons why you should buy a raffle ticket right now. Number 1, your odds of winning have never been better. For the first time, you have not 1 but 2 chances to win a brand new electric vehicle with just 1 ticket. Reason number 2, the prizes are amazing. The first place winner will choose from a Rivian R1S SUV, very much like the one you see behind me, a Rivian R1T truck, a Tesla Model X Plaid, or the Tesla Cybertruck. And the second place winner will get the amazing Hyundai Ioniq 5. And reason number 3, our friends at CCAN Action Fund do amazing work nationwide addressing climate change and climate crisis. To enter, visit www.evraffle.org. That's evraffle.org. Tickets are just $200 and only 7,000 tickets will be sold. Your odds have never been better. Visit evraffle.org or check the link in the description below. I could feel the surface like trying to grip us. It's very sticky. Now you're in drive.
Okay.
Your foot's on the brake, your steering wheel's straight, you go all the way into the accelerator.
Yes.
And then when you're ready,
yes,
watch the green. Keep it in.
Keep moving.
Keep going.
And now?
Gentle growth.
So right now it's telling me 2.73 seconds 0 to 60, and a quarter mile in 10.73.
There you go.
And there's 3 of us in here.
The three, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So this is kind of a, your family outing, when you're just going out. Wow. So that was 1,025 horsepower and 1,198 pound-feet of torque from 4 motors and very grippy tires. All right. So now that you know that the new Rivian R1T is the quickest and I believe the fastest production pickup truck in the world, because it is quicker than the Tesla Cybertruck to 60 and potentially even in a quarter mile, although we did not race the Tesla today. So that video is still to come. But I wanted to show you the rest of the lineup. They call them second gens. You can see the R1S right behind me, and you can see the brand new wheels. So there will be several versions of these vehicles, of course. Dual motors. So these two you see here are dual motors. There's a dual motor standard and dual motor performance. And the performance specs are as follows. The standard dual motor 0 to 60 time is 4.5 seconds, and that's the slowest new Rivian truck or SUV. Then performance goes to about 3.4 seconds. But this is something special. This is the new tri-motor. How do I know? Well, because I drove it here. That's how I know. Otherwise, from the outside, you may not, of course, tell what powertrain is underneath. This also has an adventure pack with Scorpion all-terrain tires. So there are a lot of different new tire options, including this Pirelli Scorpion MS that combines all-season capability with efficiency, of course. What you're looking at here is the new wheel design. This is the new designation for quad motor, which is going to be their premium, most powerful, most high performance, and also, of course, the most luxurious version. So you can see the brake caliper is painted. This is the new Michelin tire, and the front is a 275. It's a 22-inch wheel. The symbol means it's the new quad motor. So whenever you see this, and then you see those calipers on a brand new Rivian second-gen truck or SUV, that means it's the highest performance model. Here's another way you know you're in the special Rivian. It says quad in this R1T badge. There's also the R1S badge as well. There are new graphics throughout, so you can switch modes and the graphics will change and animate. So there's a bit of fancy Unreal Engine graphics going on here, and of course Rivian was very precise and careful with how they chose the styling and the different modes, and also the truck itself mimics exactly what the vehicle you purchased, the color, the tire, and the wheel packages, and you can kind of render it in a variety of different settings. Those are off-road modes. Now, on-road modes. There's sport, there's snow, all-purpose, and here you can see the tri-motor temperature for each motor, temperature for the battery, my most recent efficiency and trip. I've been kind of ripping in this truck a little bit, and here's my most recent. I was at like 2.3 miles per kilowatt hour, and now we're just sitting here at 1.95 miles per kilowatt hour, so I'll have to do a range test. Every tri-motor will have a maximum capacity battery. They're calling it Tri-Max. Later, we don't know exactly when the quad motor goes on sale, it will only be in max battery capacity as well. And in best conserve mode with a maximum battery, and the longest range new R1T or R1S will have upwards of either 410 or 420 miles. So that's the current rating on range. They did not update the base high voltage architecture, so it's still 400 volts, and it's still around 200 kilowatt to 220 kilowatt approximately. charging speed on fast DC charging, level 3 charging. So I'm a little bit disappointed that they didn't move up to 900 volt architecture or something else, and to allow for a little bit quicker charging. So they left that alone, but they modified the suspension system, the electrical architecture underneath. They simplified it greatly. They added cameras, like I showed you, camera resolution. And then, of course, driver assistance technologies are coming, and it starts with lane change support in this truck, so it will help you change lanes on a highway. Here's what it's like to use the driver assist feature in the Rivian. So you double tap this stalk on the right. It's telling you that it's helping you steer. And the steering wheel is a capacitive touch steering wheel. Then, if you want to change a lane, you initiate, and then it steers for you, and it helps you complete the lane change. So it's basically looking at the vehicles behind you and helping you. But I still have to keep my hand on the wheel, and it's capacitive touch, so it knows. And this is not, in my opinion, the best system. I think General Motors Super Cruise is still the best, not because it offers hands-free, but also if I turn the wheel, the system immediately cancels. And in the General Motors Super Cruise system, if you turn the wheel and correct, it doesn't disable the hands-free mode. So the GM system, in my opinion, works a little bit more in tune with the driver. And the Rivian system seems like I am sometimes arguing with the system instead of the system really helping me. So that's just my first impression. But when the system is engaged and it's doing lane centering for me, it works well. The tri-motor truck I'm sitting in right now has 850 horsepower and over 1,000 pound-feet of torque. So it really, it has better performance. This tri-motor has better specs, and at 2.90 to 60, better specs on paper than the outgoing previous gen quad motor Rivian R1T. So they're stepping up their trucks and SUVs with performance and, of course, luxury. You can see how nice this truck is. I mean, it's hard for me to convey it now, but it's super nice. Here's the new updated power sliding top cover on this tri-motor. Now you can have the tailgate open. It's 4.5 feet inside the tailgate and about 7 feet when you open the tailgate down here. Of course, there is underbed storage for the full-size spare tire. I love that they do this, except what I don't love is when, you know, you have something loaded up, maybe some building materials or your motorcycle or bikes, and you have to change a tire. Of course, you have to get underneath the floor. You have outlets and compressor. I love that Rivian allows you to do that. Really good tie downs throughout the vehicle. I can't complain about that. Also, there's gear tie downs here that you can mount a rack to as well. Of course, the central tunnel is also here. You're probably wondering, all right, Andre, you really like this tri-motor, and I do. What are some of the other specs? Well, they didn't change the towing capability. Still 11,000 pounds. Still, for this class of vehicle, it's 135-inch approximately wheelbase. It's almost mid-size, a little bit bigger than mid-size. I think for that size, 11,000 pounds is just great tow rating. I'm not going to complain about that. The payload is still around 1,700 pounds. This truck doesn't have a sticker. And then pricing. Tri-motor will go on sale a little bit later this year at almost $100,000 bucks, $99,900. Base pricing for standard dual motor, small battery with LFP technology, The R1T starts at $69,900, so that's the base price for this new second generation vehicle. So they kept the base price the same, but of course after you add more features and more performance, the price goes way higher. The SUV costs about $6,000 more than the truck. So starting price $75,900. We don't have the pricing on the quad motor yet. Now you see how quick the new Rivian trucks are. They're really going after high performance with this new iteration and upgrade of this truck. I think they're still plenty luxurious, super nice. So when you're paying that high price of $100 grand or more for one of these things, you're getting a really nice and comfortable and really great looking interior as well, vegan leather. So it's all mindful, and now these machines are easier to service according to Rivian, quicker service, easier to diagnose some issues if they have issues. They're now easier to build. So the factory processes have been simplified because the electrical system has been simplified as far as physical components are concerned. Of course, the software is a whole nother beast, and it's an all new system. So there could be some software glitches. I mean, that's just my impression from my experience as a software engineer in my previous life. When you're changing your entire architecture, I mean, you could run into some issues down the road, but I haven't noticed any issues today. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you next time at alltfl.com.